Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Welcome into another KopCam live stream. And there I am on the screen. And as always, call-in number is the same. It's 866-366-1143, just like it says on the screen over there, just like it says on the screen up here, right there, right above me, right there. That's where you're going to call in. Welcome to the stream. You can help support this channel by buying gold, silver, and copper. Welcome in, everybody. There we go. There's the donate link. And we'll put up the eBay store link as well. And that's the eBay store where you can buy things. Princess, why don't you watch us over there on your monitor? Stream looks good. Stream health is good. We are streaming live here on the KopCam channel. Yes. Lacey R, welcome in. Hello, how you been? How you doing? Oh, but you can watch the video, can't sign in. Oh, I see. Let's see if I can. Yes, you should. 1080. And let's see if I can get this. Okay, then watch it in lower resolution, so you can monitor it, but not drag the computer down or whatever. Hello, everybody. Just put the microphone in front of my face now so you can see me a little bit. I'm looking at myself over here, but I still got the mic in front of my mouth, but who knows? Who cares? At least it's here and I don't have to keep turning my head sideways and I can continue to look into the camera. If this microphone stand would go down a little lower, which I wish it would, but it doesn't, then I could kind of sit up here and kind of talk a little bit down to it. And then when you wanted to see my face, I'd be like, hey, look, smiley boy. But that's the way it goes. I'm going to slouch. We're having a beer here tonight on one of the last nights of the year. Up there is the donate link. And up there is the not only the donate link, but the eBay store link. Lacey R, are you interested in buying any metal? Do you like... Princess wants to buy metal. Because I give it to her for free.
Because he gives it to me.
There we go. That's right. Because there we go. That's 0.995 of an ounce of silver right there. It's a silver bar I cast right there. Princess got one for Christmas. 1 ounce of silver there. Silver bar. A silver bar. So, if you're interested in buying precious or semi-precious metals, I'm looking to sell some of that. Here we go. Another bar there. It's 0.70 ounces. Lacey R, what's going on in your world? Let's look over here on the internets here and see what I get. Sold a bunch of metal recently on eBay. If I could get my boyfriend to look at YouTube, he would be, but I can't. Hey, Invictus, how you doing? I'm sitting here trying to make a little money tonight, and instead of doing a, you can always donate, but instead of doing like an e-begging type of thing, I'm doing an e-selling type of thing, okay? And I have good shit for sale. I got actual silver metal for sale. Silver. I don't have gold, but I got silver right now. Actual silver bars right now. I mold. These are 3 9s fine. I molded them myself. Bought the silver shot. Bought the raw silver and cast them into little bars, trying different weights and things. So, Invictus, how you doing? Yes, well, I'm kind of getting back into it, but I gotta make money. My career as a IT developer is pretty much over, and I don't even have any interest in pursuing it anymore, considering the amount of time I had to waste. Now I make my money with metal. So, for example, when I work day labor, when I work construction day labor, there's always opportunity there to pick up scrap metal. And one day I picked up about 70 pounds of copper wire, and I happen to have a stripping machine. So I just finished all of it, got most of it stripped. I've sold it all to one guy for about $400. So at the scrapyard, that 70 pounds of stripped copper wire gets you about $70. But I've been able to get close to $400 for it by stripping it and melting it down into ingots. And then I buy copper bar at a local metal supplier. I buy their offcuts, their drops. And even those sell for a profit on eBay. Otherwise, I can just melt it down and so I buy and sell it for, basically it's double my money. Yeah, I have a Devil Forge. I bought one of these Devil Forges. Are you familiar with them? Are you interested in buying one? Because if you are, I can give you a few pointers on what to do with it. Because I've already worn mine out, so I can give you... Huh? Sure. I've already worn... Oh, well, listen, I do recommend the Devil Forge product, but it wears out pretty quick. I had to buy a product called Tabcast 94. Look this up on eBay. That's a high temperature refractory cement that I had to line the inside of the forge with. And once I lined the chamber with that, it's holding up pretty well. The lid, however, is pretty much falling apart. So I'm going to cast like a disc with a hole in it out of that same material to rebuild the lid. So the Devil Forge is a nice thing, but I've burned mine up, man. And I've been, like I said, it was a $360 purchase. So okay, so it's a $60 purchase. Okay, Lacey, good to see you. And Princess says goodbye too. So it's a $360 purchase that I've already invested another $60 in to upgrade. I'm probably going to cost me another $60 for a bucket of Tabcast, but then I think it'll actually hold up for a while. The chamber's holding up pretty well. The lid is burnt up. So Tabcast 94 has a refractory temperature of like 3,800 degrees or 3,000 degrees or something pretty high, way above the working temperature of the Devil Forge. The refractory cement they ship with this thing, however, doesn't hold up. I spilt metal in there, and it was a low temperature melting metal like zinc or some kind of pot metal, and it really burned through that refractory cement and into the ceramic wool. The Tabcast 94, I've repeatedly had spilled out a massive crucible failure and dropped out a pound of copper and brass material onto this, and when it cooled down, I just picked it up like a disc, and it's still usable. Basically, the copper metal on the Tabcast 94, the copper metal, even copper, will just pool up, and if you just let it cool, it'll eventually separate. But on the other stuff, on the regular Devil Forge, if you don't reinforce it with a really high temperature refractory cement, what'll happen is that any kind of metal spill is just pretty much disastrous. It goes through that shit they sell it with, and it goes through the ceramic wool. So, ceramic wool painted with a refractory cement for the chamber works pretty well. For the lid, however, for the lid, it's going to be heavy. I'm going to have to cast a solid block of it. I think it's going to be heavy. $70 shipped for 22 pounds, a good deal. Well, I've been selling 16 to 18 pounds for about $100, and shipping may or may not be included. I've been stuffing that into a priority mail flat rate padded envelope, and they barely survive. So that may not work anymore. That's an $8 shipping. I may have to go up to the medium flat rate box, which is about $13. So $70 shipped for 22 pounds looks like a pretty good deal. Let's see what the pound weight is for that. 22 divided by 7. 22 divided by 7. $3.14 a pound. Well, let me give you an indication of a local scrapyard what they're paying for clean copper, bright and shiny. They're paying about $2.40 to $2.50 a pound. So you're maybe less than $1 above the scrap price, shipped. That seems like a pretty good deal. I'm not going to tell you what I pay for my copper when I buy it in bulk, or when I buy the offcuts, but I get it at a good price. I make my margins. Oh, for the Tabcast 94, I got the one on eBay, and I thought it was like a 25-pound bucket, and it was right around $60. So there's a guy on eBay called Simon Store selling it, and that was the best I was able to find. So yeah, $70 for that 22 pounds is comparable. Okay, so yeah, it's not light. And here's the thing with the Tabcast 94, it's mostly rocks. It's mostly, I guess, alumina rocks. The grain size is 0.5 millimeters. So when you want to cast, for the bottom of the forge, I used it normally and made a pretty thick layer in the bottom, and I filled in some of the holes that had been created by the molten metal. So I used it normally and made a block out of it, basically in the bottom of the forge, and it works pretty well. I even made a disc at one point. I cast a separate disc for putting in the forge to put the crucible on, but I don't really need to use that. So it casts pretty well, and it holds up pretty well. You can't bang on it; it'll break, but it will take temperature pretty well. For painting the sides of the chamber, unfortunately, you have to waste some of that. I sifted it out. I sifted all those rocks out and just used the powder and made a sluice out of that, made a mortar out of that, and painted the inside of the chamber. And the same thing with the lid. So what really happened was I used some of the Tabcast as it was to it's got a D in it, Simon's Store, something like that, okay? I'll find the link for the guy. I'll give him a plug. I sifted out the rocks, and just used the paste, the powder. And of course that wastes some of it, but that's just the way it is. And it's holding up. It is holding up on the walls of the chamber. And I used it on the lid too, but the problem is, and it holds up, but the problem is the lid falls in. That soft material of that ceramic wool from the lid falls in. So I have to redesign the lid, cast a disc, and put pins in it to hold it in so it doesn't fall in. Hold it up so it doesn't fall in. So let me find this guy. Let me my eBay purchase history, because I'll show you. And Tabcast 94. Here we go. Okay, try this. This should put you right there. I think that should fit. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let me get 16 pounds of gold. Don't have it, government watchdog. So yeah, that Tabcast 94 holds up pretty damn well to the temperature, and I like the fact that, like I said, a catastrophic crucible failure, the metal just leaking out all over the bottom of the forge, and me not knowing it, I couldn't understand why this metal didn't seem to be melting. It was melting; it was just leaking out the damn crucible. And it was close. I think it was at least a half pound of it leaked out and settled on the bottom of the forge. And once I figured it out, I let it cool and I just lifted it out and it pulled out like a big disc. So some metal seems to be sticking to the bottom, but if you tap it lightly, eventually you'll break it loose. But the big piece certainly came loose without any effort. So, and I'm pretty sure you have to do that because, like I said, the way the Devil Forge came just did not hold up very well. It did not hold up as well as I need it. Because basically, well, it doesn't really matter. It's probably even worse when you heat it up and cool it. The way it works is it takes a while to heat up. But once you get it to temperature, it stays hot, and every time you dump the crucible into a mold and refill that crucible and put it back in, the new material melts very quickly. It may take like 20 minutes for the first crucible to melt, but then it takes like a minute or two afterward for each subsequent one. And yes, you can even drop things in through the hole in the lid if you're careful. So what happens is once you get it up to temperature, you can do a production run. You basically need to do a production run to make it efficient. And I can get at least easily 8 bars poured out of 16 pounds, and you maybe use up half a tank of propane, less than a half a tank of propane. Yeah, but I will say that Tabcast 94 holds up pretty well. And I think that rather than buy a new Devil Forge, I'm gonna do what I can to redo the lid on mine, because like I said, the chamber's holding up pretty well. So no reason to. The chamber's holding up pretty well. It looks like it's got a fair amount of life left to it. The one thing that might be going is the burner cone. But even the burner cone I painted and I coated with that Tabcast, and that's help extend its life. If you get enough of that refractory cement around where the burner cone comes into the chamber, you'll extend its life. So I'm thinking rather than buy a new one, because when you buy a new one, unfortunately, you're stuck in the same boat where you still have to buy the Tabcast pour some in the bottom to make a base, and then sift the rest and use it to paint the edges, and then. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to figure out some way to pour the lid. I'm not gonna. If I buy a new Devil Forge, I'm not gonna use their lid the way it came. It doesn't work very well. So. But no two ways about it. Although you know what I tried to do. I tried to make some molds out of that Tabcast 94. So I could pour bars into the mold. And unfortunately, it works for that. But unfortunately, what happened is that the copper started spalling when I put it in the mold. The mold was cold, and it just started boiling and popping and making all kinds of nasty shit. And it was boiling and popping. Good thing I was wearing glasses at the time, because one piece came right up and melted the plastic of the glasses I was wearing. So right up in my eye. So. That deal is died. I wasn't even able to fill the mold. I just was able to get enough in the bottom, but by the time I filled it, it was spalling too much, popping too much. So I said, the hell with that. I'm not going to do that. So I have to order graphite molds from China now. It's not looking good for using like plaster of Paris molds. I was thinking about using plaster of Paris molds, or maybe molds made out of this Tabcast. I think I will still try a plaster of Paris mold, but I think it's going to do the same thing. It's just going to start spalling when you put it in there, and that's not going to do any good. The graphite molds hold up well, but I've had to have some custom ones made from China, or I'm trying to order some custom ones from China. So this is why I need all of y'all to help support this stream, so I can buy more shit from China to make more metal and make more money because I'm broke ass. Used to make money as a technology developer, but no, as a technology developer, but no, now it's background checks and fucking Indian people running up in this shit. So, all right, time to close the door. I forgot that we got the door open. Does the dude at the end of the hall have his door open? Is he gone? Is it already evening time, like 6 o'clock? No. I am broke-ish. I'm broke enough. I don't have the money I used to, so yeah, that's broke. That's broke as fuck. Well, as Princess says, I'm doing what I like, and that matters. Well, I need more copper, goddammit. I need metal. Chester copper pot, yeah. All right, peeps. We don't have a huge audience here. Don't got a lot of chat going on. And I'm hungry. Damn right. And I need to smoke too. Check my emails real quick here. Oh sure, Invictus. Are you into doing any of that? Are you kind of going that way? Are you pursuing that kind of stuff? Because I got to tell you, man, it's been a lot of fucking fun. I mean, I got to tell you, melting down copper wire that I got paid to collect. I was getting day labor. I was a job. I was working as a day laborer, and I happened to be getting a good like what's called a semi-skilled ticket that day. Just a second. Okay. So I think I got $10 an hour, and I got a little extra hours. You gave me 10 hours that day. So, and I picked up the copper wire, 70 pounds of it. And I got goddamn fucking, I think $400 out of that deal. So it was, the stripping machine was 237 or something like that. And the Devil Forge was 360. So I kind of pretty much paid for those. I had to rent a U-Haul that day. So that cost some money. So maybe I did kind of go in the hole on this one if I had my own car, but it did pay for the tools. The Devil Forge has pretty much been burned up. I paid for that when I got my economic disaster relief loan. But overall, as a business concept, it works fine. Then I do recommend the Devil Forge product. It's a really good price. Well, dude, metal is metal. Invictus metal is metal. And silver is cheap enough that you can get it. You can get a pound of silver is what, 30? I mean, you can get silver. 10 ounces is around $300 or something. It's not crazy expensive, Gold is expensive. It's hard to get any amount of gold that you can work with at a good price. If you want to buy gold and start getting a price break, it's going to cost a lot of money. The Devil Forge is a good product. It will burn up. You will burn it up, though, for sure. And like I said, there's no two ways about it. That Tabcast 94 holds up. Really did a job, at least on the chamber anyway. I have to figure out how to make that lid. Just do a different design on the lid. Basically what I'm going to do is try to imagine, if you've seen the Devil Forge, try to imagine the lid flipped over. What I'm going to have open. What I've done is I've crimped the edges of the lid in, okay? Because what happens is that ceramic wool shrinks. But ultimately what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill holes in the top, hang screws through with like fender washers, and drive screws into the side. I'm going to use stainless ones because there's steel pins in the lid that hold the ceramic wool in place, and they just melt or just oxidize and burn up. So I'm going to have to use stainless, which is a higher temperature. And those those screws that I stick through are what's going to hold the cast disc of cement in the top. So I'm going to leave the lid open and pour the material in, and there'll be pins sticking through the metal of the lid to hold it in place, kind of like rebar. that's about the best I can do. And like I said, crimping the edges of the lid in slightly will also, that disc, if it comes loose, will keep it from moving up and down and falling, which is because every time you close the lid, open and close it, that thing moves a little bit, eventually it comes loose. So that'll probably work okay, but it will let a little heat leak out the sides. But other than the Devil Forge, I don't know, any other product, those some kind of furnace that uses those bricks. Beyond, if it's not like a Devil Forge, I would say find something with those alumina bricks, because you can cut them as you need them, and they're rigid. You don't need to apply a rigidizer to them. So yeah, if you're interested in doing that, like I said, the Devil Forge is a workable product. The tab cast is no joke. Or if you for what it's worth, if you were crafty, you might be able to cast for less than the price of a Devil Forge, buy some of that tab cast and cast your own furnace. Cast a chamber made out of the whole thing. Make something like a pizza oven or some fucking thing. I don't know. You might be able to come up with a way to buy that stuff and cast your own chamber or something. I don't know, but like I said, if nothing else, I'm satisfied with it. It definitely fucking held up. It definitely, at least the chamber is held up. The lid, because that stuff moves so much, it ended up breaking everything apart when I opened and closed it so many times. If you're looking for copper, I don't know what you do for a living. If you can do day labor, you can pick it up on construction sites. I would say contact your local scrapyard. You might be able to buy it from them. If not, go to your local scrapyard and hang out for a while and see who's dropping off copper, like electrical companies, electricians. Get in touch with them. That'll get you copper. Or you can buy it on eBay from me. That'll get you copper. Brass you can get from plumbers and things like that. Same type of deal. A little bit harder to come by like that. My source of brass right now, or the brass I have in stock, is a big tub of like silver-plated, what's called German silver, or just brassware. German silver is a brass that's got a high nickel content, and it's almost white, and they would use it for making silver-plated dinnerware. So silver-plated dinnerware that you might find at auction, like from a thrift store or something, will be silver-plated copper, silver-plated brass, and silver-plated what's called German silver. And it also might be nickel-plated too. And it also might be silver-plated iron or steel, which is easy enough to figure out with a magnet. So that's where I got a bunch of brasses from a big tub of silver-plated brassware that I bought from a thrift store auction. That pretty sure I got my money out. I think I paid $70 for it. Maybe it was $37. I don't even remember what I paid for it, but I know I got my money out of it. I cut it up with a skill saw and just melt the shit down. So I did get a pretty good score of brass on a bulk purchase one time, because brass holds its value, and brass sells for a fair amount on eBay. If you go buy brass from your metal supplier, you're probably going to pay a premium price. You might find offcuts, but good luck. Yeah, if you're looking, that's a good. The silver on there, you can find ways to get that silver off. It's so thin that it's barely worth it. Better off just letting it melt into the alloy and maybe selling it as a novelty, add a little novelty value to it because it contains silver. But there are ways to get that off if you're into it, and eventually over time you'll accumulate a fair amount. But if nothing else, that's a pretty good starting material. But what you're going to be doing is cutting it up, smashing it down, and all that. But if you're coming in, if your by the pound price is coming in at about the scrap price, that's what you're looking for. You want to be buying. As always, you make your money when you buy. So you want to be buying it at whatever the price your local scrapyard would be paying for that same shit. Remember, you make your money when you buy. Is it 5 o'clock now or is it 4 o'clock? All right, when I'm done with this beer, I am going to wrap this stream up. So this is the clock is ticking on this 16-ounce beer. But yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line. Like I said, you make your money when you buy. And I can definitely tell you, probably whatever you buy, try to get it for what the local scrapyard pays, because that's kind of market buy price. That's market price. If you start paying more than that, you're running into not making any money. Yes, sirree. As always, we like to help here on the KopCam channel. Oh, okay. So there's it says 22 pounds. I was looking at the link. I was looking at the link up there, 22 pounds. So I thought it was, there might have been 25 pounds shipped. There might have been, I don't think it was a 3-pound package. Well, actually it might have been. And I think it comes in, it's a little under $70 maybe. So it's probably the same deal. Maybe you save a little tiny bit, but yeah, I know. Well, we got some videos coming up. I mean, I got videos right here. We're accumulating videos of me doing all the melting and shit, So, I can do metal melting videos. Princess is dutiful enough to be working the camera. Yeah, people like them, and they look good. I mean, they look good on the camera. The glowing metal does kind of look good. I'll bring those up. I'm gonna do a live stream tomorrow night, a New Year's Eve live stream. Today I sold. Let's see. Today's revenue on eBay was, let's see, $75 there, $106 in revenue from that one. Okay, so today's revenue on eBay was 75 plus 106. 75 plus 106 plus 62.97. Yesterday was 142 plus 68. So, yeah, scrapping channels are fun. So, I learned from those too. Well, like I said, you make your money when you buy. So scrapping is good business because, like I said, you make your money when you buy. And scrapping you get for free. Last week I pulled I don't know, I dropped off, we made like $80 at a scrapyard, which wasn't much. But it was just, I found a stove laying around, put it on the truck. I was renting a U-Haul at the time, so I found a stove. But the U-Haul hits you for the mile, man. Hits you for the mileage. 69, 79 cents a mile is what they do. But I picked up a stove and some solid iron out of a dumpster. Steel makes good money. You got to get a ton, but it'll pay off. And One day on a job after working a construction job, I loaded 2,600 pounds of metal in about an hour into a truck, and then in 45 minutes offloaded that same 2,600 pounds at the scrapyard. I was beat the fuck up, boy, but I was in good shape. Yet with all this revenue, it barely seems like enough. Although I will say, I got my cable bill paid and I got my rent paid as of today. So I really like that Devil Forge as a tool because it makes me fucking money. But boy, it just didn't last very long. Just did not last. Burnt the fuck up is what happened. So, I think if you could find a way to make something out of that Tabcast 94, it would work. But see, the Devil Forge has a good burner mechanism. Those burner cones from the Devil Forge look pretty nice, and they work well. Although what happens is they burn up too. Rich Murdoch, how you doing? You want to buy some silver? I got some silver for you. That's 0.70 of an ounce of 999 fine silver. You want to buy it? Go to my eBay store. You need lead? Hey man, $50 is $50, Invictus. I mean, come on. I mean, $50 is $50. You like I said, right now steel around me is $135 a ton. But I don't know how much you make a day, but right now, since I'm not making what I used to make, $135 a day is like good money for me. And I could do a ton. I was able to do a ton in an hour. So, onload and offload a ton in an hour. So, but there is plenty of steel around to be had, but you got to get a ton at least. Yeah, like I said, you make your money when you buy. Yeah, you got that for free. What are you talking about? I mean, what was the margin on that? I mean, your time and effort. So I don't know how long it took you to do it, though. If it took you an hour or two, you did okay. 50, 20, 25, $50 an hour. It's good money if you have a constant supply. But, even as a thing to do, even if for you it was just a pastime or something to do because you had some spare time, fuck it. Hey, there's worse ways to make money in your spare time. For me, $50 a day, $50 is when I'm working day labor. Yeah, like half an hour, exactly. When I'm working day labor, $50 is like a whole day's wages for me. For those of us who work minimum wage, $50 is like a whole day's wages. Well, figured easy fat. Well, Invictus, you figured correctly. Yes, you did. You figured correctly. You made the right call. You made the right call. You did. You got $50 for it. Why do you need lead? Murdoch, why do you need lead? All right, it's time to go home now. I'm running out of beer. I'm getting hungry. We've got all of 4 people watching. YouTube joneses me like this. Some streams I'll have like a lot of people coming in and this, that, the other thing. Maybe because it says support. They know I'm asking for money and shit. What a bunch of douchebags. Yeah, that's probably it. If it says support in the title, they're like, sorry, we're not sending nobody to you. You got nothing coming. But, okay, Invictus. Well, I'm not leaving just yet, but if you are, it was nice having you here. I'm getting to the end of my beer, the end of the stream. I'm getting hungry. Looks like eBay is done for the day, although I don't know. You never know, but a lot of shit comes in overnight. I'm looking at it right now, and something came in this afternoon. Got all my metal shipped today. You betcha. Happy to help, man. I hope it works for you. Melting and pouring metal is a lot of fun. And you can make money at it. All I can say is key. You got to watch your margins, man. You got to watch how much you're paying for your tools and all your other shit, and what your buy price is. But you can certainly sell it. You can certainly sell what you make. So I strongly recommend you pursue it. I wish the Devil Forge held up a little longer because as a tool, it's a good tool. It makes me money. But if it has a really short life, then it's not such a great tool, I really needed more melts out of it before. I need a bunch more melts. I need a lot more melts out of it before I dispose of it, I need a tool that, how many screws can you turn with a screwdriver before you have to replace it, I was hoping for that kind of lifespan. Not, have to replace the tool and have it be 10-20% of your cost, I don't want to do that. So or more of the cost, 50, 60, 70% of my cost just to have this tool. That's not a profit margin. So but metal will come through for you, man. Metal has made me money recently. It's always made me money. Always made pretty good money in metal. And it's almost always a double my money type of deal. So I'll stick with it. All right. And on that note, I want to thank you all for coming in. Appreciate you being here. We're going to go ahead and end this stream. I'm going to click the magic stop streaming button here. And I'm going to say goodnight. All right. Good night, everybody.